Hey y'all. Okay, day number one of the 2025 Great Halloween Spectacular. Had to think about it. It's a lot of words, long words. And let me know if you can hear me. I'm actually talking a little bit loud. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, I had sound on my computer. I don't know why. But anyway, let me know that you can hear me. I hope my brother Ben is here. Yesterday, he slept through my live. My trusty assistant slept through my live. I just couldn't believe it. But anyway, he's taking care of my cats while I'm at my uncle's house in Georgia. Um, so I'm Lucy, paperglitterglue.com, and the host of Halloween, the Great Halloween Spectacular. And today is day one where we make Vulture Gultch Mercantile. And so let me go through where you find that. Everybody's saying they can hear me. Okay, now I am going to switch cameras so I can show you exactly how to find the files. We've had a few people ask questions, so I just wanted to switch to my computer. Let me get the right screen. Okay, this is an email I got from somebody saying she couldn't find the files. And truthfully, I haven't had to do all that work. Susan does the hard behind the scenes work. So this is the email. Here's today's workshop. So you can click on it here. And it takes you to the schedule page, which you can bookmark so you can always find it. The schedule page. Remember, we've got supply lists here. Get the VIP, which I do recommend, just because I think there's good stuff in it. You don't have to. Everything else is free, but we put some nice bonuses in the VIP. The FAQ page, if you have questions, how to contact us, help at Paper Glitter Glue. If you're not getting your emails, you signed up and you're like, where do I go? Help at paperglitterglue.com, and the giveaways where you sign up for the giveaways from the speakers as well. Okay, then we scroll down. This is day one, August 11th. Click to watch. I'm clicking on it. And at first you see the video. There's the video on how to make the Vulture Gultch Mercantile. But you got to keep scrolling. There's a supply list, and it's not a real intricate supply list. But that is just because I was so far behind. It's really my standard stuff. Cardboard, cardstock, glue, a way to cut it out. That's pretty much it. And then here's where you go to click to download the template and the written instructions. So let's click that. And that takes you to a Google Drive link. And in this folder is the SVG, the top folder. This is the PDF files, all the print files. And this one, let me click on it. I clicked the wrong thing. The SVG file is right here. It's the first one. And then the only other one is the cam pattern. Okay, now I'm going to switch cameras, assuming I can find the right button. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to click that away so I can read your comments. Oh, good. Ben is here. My brother's here. Making, he's funny. So, Ben Foxworth. Alrighty. So, oh shoot. Let me make sure my face comes back. Oh good, there I am. Alrighty. So now what we're going to do today is I wanted to show you a little bit more about making the little cans and the fabrics. I think I went over it really quickly in the video, but it's I had so much other stuff to cover. I didn't go into detail, and I think the cans are just so much fun. And you could use them in anything. We've made bakeries before. You could have like a grocery store. You could convert this to a regular grocery store. And so that's what we're going to do today. And tomorrow we're going to do the little bubbling cauldron. Okay, this is one I purchased. This is a Tim Holtz cauldron that I stained black and then just put polymer clay bubbles on top. Let me show you. This is one I was experimenting last night and I kind of burned it up. So anyway, I learned something. So I'll tell you about that tomorrow. Okay, let me see. Oh, the other thing, yeah, I'm gonna show you one thing before we get started on the cans. I just want to show you a little bit about the spider fence. If you have the all access pass or the VIP, I think it's there now. I hope so. But I wanted to show you about how to glue these fine pieces together. So I'm going to switch cameras once again. Have to rotate my camera. Let me see. Why is the light so funny? That's better. Okay. So this is very, very fine. And I've mentioned before why I like, giving you reasons why I like Barely Art glue, but it's this little tiny tip. And you can especially see how effective it is. And you can get Barely Art glue. You can order it from Amazon. Jennifer Maker has like a special Barely Art glue with sunflowers on it. 12 by 12 cardstock. So if you're ordering from them, you can order some Barely Art glue from 12 by 12 cardstock as well. So it's nice that it's easy, relatively easy to find. But you see how fine the little dots are? Okay, I'm just gonna try to line them up. This is like a connector piece. If you need an extra piece to get your fence, and if it's not in the VIP thing today, we will get it today for sure. Martha was talking about in my video where I talked about dented cans. Yeah, botulism. I may have said that. I actually saw a child with botulism. Which is an extremely rare disease these days, fortunately. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show you that for gluing fine pieces together. All right. And so on this version, I didn't do it for a while, but finally I glued them in place because I kind of like to play with them. But I wanted them to stay in place for the display, and I also glued these. I have not glued down the cauldron. One thing you'll notice is because I use black paper, stuff doesn't show up very well. So if you want to line it or use a lighter color paper on the inside, you can do that, just so whatever your merchandise is in your mercantile shows up. Okay, now, let me see. These are my little canned labels. I made pumpkin mash, and black cat beans. But I got my friend Presley, who's a graphic artist, to make some, and she made a look goulash, Skelly's bone broth, brains and gravy, and there's one other. Oh, I guess I didn't cut them. Oh wait, yeah, here they are. Witch's beans, I think. It's dark. Witch's brood beans. Okay, so she made these and sized them to fit on the little cans we're going to make. And they're in the bonus. These are the bonus for the all access pass. But they were so funny that I made her size them. I asked her to size them so you could put them on a real can. Just, I got a sample can here. And you can wrap them around and, stock your Halloween pantry. And the advantage is you can read the funny things that she said. Ingredients, blah, 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 blah. Total carbohydrates, total ooze and goos, cholesterol, all of that. So anyway, I just thought they were really fun. So that's from my friend Presley. She did those for me. Just a little extra bonus. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make the cans. So one thing I found out, I like heavy cardstock. So this is 1 10-pound cardstock. And I always flip it so you can tell it's got like a deeper sound. It does not curve very well. So if you want a can, use lightweight cardstock. This is 65-pound cardstock, and it curls much easier. The other thing is you need a circular object, a dowel, a pin, something, um, so you can roll it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to start it off in a circular manner so your can is circular. So, and yeah, you're not like doing it real precisely. So first we curl our our can strip. I like it in gray. I wondered if it would look good on, um, if we use like foil paper. And then you kind of pull it because I wanted it to be easy to measure. So I made this little uh, extension kind of, so you can tell where to glue it. So tighten it so that you can glue it right around there. It doesn't have to be precise, but so that this edge is near there. And then your cans will be close to the right size. Okay, so I'm holding it, and I don't think it matters which kind of glue you use. And you can add glue inside if you want. There's a glue blob. See, just lining it up. And that way you have a pretty good idea that the circle will fit. And another thing about the circle is I kind of tuck it in a little bit because I like the top of the can to be indented. Okay, so let's make sure it holds. And before, I would make the can before I glue on the little decorative label. Okay, now let's add some glue here. And I did not think of this. I looked it up online. I don't want you to think, oh man, she thought of that. Nope. I looked it up online, and I'm just kind of tucking it in a little bit. I'm trying to. Oh shoot, too much. And if you push too much, you just push on the other side and kind of push it back out. And one thing about it, which I think you can probably tell, if you make several of them, then you get better at it. I haven't made any in a few weeks, so I'm a little rusty. Okay, kind of got my lid tucked in. Pretty, definitely rustic looking. Okay, I'm going to push it out just a little bit. Okay, now let's do the other side. A little bit of glue, which, if you know me, it's more than a little bit of glue. Yeah, you can cut that little labels out by hand. I think it's simpler than doing a print and cut, than like setting up your machine to do a print and cut, because they're not hard. And what I did was I got a paper trimmer, little paper trimmer, just to make it easier. Okay. All right. Yeah, that didn't. Okay, let's get one of my labels. I'm going to do pumpkin mash. And apply a little glue. Now, one thing I found out is I used a inkjet printer, and that ink is kind of water soluble, so some of my ink smeared, so I'm trying not to do that. And I've got a little extra label, so I'm going to trim it. I know I have scissors. Here we go. Scissors are by the fabric. More little blob of glue. And there's the can. There. Okay, little. I know. I was really tickled about the little cans that they worked, but I had to research it. I had to look online. Okay, let's make another one. Make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, curling it up. It always helps to see it twice, I hope. Okay, loosen it. Apply glue. I actually think that was the wrong size. Initially, I was going to give you two sizes, but then I'm like, that'll confuses me. And if it confuses me, it probably, it might confuse you too. Yeah, this is the bigger size. I like the bigger size slightly better. That's why the lid didn't fit as well. I was thinking, oh no, I sent the wrong one. But I think this is the right one. So let's see how the lid goes. Yes, the lid fits much better. Okay. And so I'm just putting a little glue around the edge. Squishing it in. Now, see what a nice little lid that is? That one's much better. And piece here. Okay, Lori's saying, what size are the labels? That's a very good question. Well, you get two labels. You get the black cap beans and the pumpkin mash. That comes with it, and I think they're like 3/4 of an inch. Let me see. I don't really have a ruler. Let me get to my paper trimmer. And oops, sorry, y'all. Okay, so it is just under an inch wide, and they are 3 inches long. 3 inches long. So, yeah, so you can go by the ones that come with the free file. Oh, and you can find them on Etsy, and some people have free versions too. So you can find them. A lot of miniaturists make little cans like this. And they use like real brand names and stuff. I thought it was more fun to make up Halloween names. Go it around. Add some glue at the overlap. There we go. There are little cans. Yeah, that was the first version, but you can see how the lids fit so much better on this version. So that's the pattern you have. And you can resize them if you want, but okay, so that's how to make the little cans, which I think just kind of make the mercantile. Let me get all this out of the way. I'll make some more later. But yeah, you use your own imagination. Maybe you could go to Canva and make your own designs. All right, next. This one's really fun. I was really tickled when I thought of doing the bolts, the fabric bolts. Okay, so what you have to do is wherever you put your shelf, make sure your bolts fit in the shelf. So I'll show you something. On this one I made it shorter. I really wish I'd made it taller. But so I had to measure. And so measure however tall your shelf is. And let me see what I need. I need cardboard. Where is my cardboard? I'm not sure if this is the cardboard. Oh, here's cardboard. Right beside me. Cardboard. And this is just a relatively light cardboard, and you can use any cardboard, honestly. You can use cereal box cardboard. Oh, I wouldn't use corrugated cardboard. I guess you could, but corrugated cardboard has it would look funny on the top. So you want it to look like a bolt of fabric, the way it looks in the fabric store. And I got some fabrics, and I love these. These are Tim Holtz fabric. They're always kind of vintagey looking. I just think they're so much fun. And they're not specifically Halloween, but I got these kind of brownish colors. And look, this is a map. And this one, and this is like gears and stuff. So I thought they worked well with a Halloween event. And then I did buy I think you call this a jelly roll of fabric. So, and these are Halloween, and they're just kind of fun. That's from Riley Blake, I think. So I did buy a jelly roll, so I'd have some, but you don't have to. I mean, honestly, if you got some kind of grays and browns or something, that would work. Yeah, you can stack them. Okay. Yeah, look, I've got hairballs. Usually I have cat hair, but today I have like fabric fuzz all over me. Okay, so I just cut this to fit on my shelves, and I'm just kind of folding it. I'm just being arbitrary or rather flexible. And I roll it up partly because I would rather use cardboard than use up all my fabric. Like, see, I didn't make the cardboard very thick on this one, and I think the bolt looks a little skinny. I like the bolt of fabric to look fatter, and like I said, I'd rather use my cardboard for that. I think that one's pretty good. And just glue it down. Oh, Vanessa says she has lots of fabric scraps. Yes. Yeah, my little sister is a quilter, so I know she's got fabric scraps. Okay, and then we can just wrap this, and if it's got some really cool figure, I'm going to try to save the cat. So the cat's on the outside, and you want your piece to be a little shorter than the actual your bolt. Because you want this to show just a little bit like they do in the fabric store. I'm just going to trim it a little bit. I don't have my rotary trimmer here. Okay, and I didn't really do it enough, but it'll work. And then just kind of roll it around. And like I said, you want the cardboard to show just a bit. And I'm just going to kind of fold this down and glue it. At first I was trying not to glue it because I like the fabric so much, but I'm like, you got to glue it down. It's not like I really take the time to sew, but I could donate it to my sister. Okay, and there's our little fabric bolt. I think this one is a little bit high. No, it works. It fits. And let's put some more in. And I did glue them down too for the display. Let's do one more fabric. Yeah, you could cover the ends. If you use corrugated cardboard, just cover it so it looks like the label they have on your fabric bolts in the store. In fact, in one place, a tutorial I saw, somebody actually had like little QR codes, the UPC code or whatever it's called. Okay, let's get another fabric. Let's get a lighter color. And oh, I know, I'll glue this and then I'll cut that. Yeah, so you can scan your little fabric bolt. I thought that was funny. that she actually thought of that detail. But she was making a fabric shop and in 2 scale for miniatures. So she was being much more um, precise than I am. You know, I'm just playing. And you can be as precise as you want. Okay, let's see if these are actually paper scissors. These are my aunt's paper scissors. I hope you don't mess up paper scissors by cutting fabric. I've never heard that. The strips are about, let me see, let's measure it again with my, I think they're about 2 inches because that's what fits where I put this shelf. That's about just over 2 inches, so I know my bolts will fit. So when you make your mercantile, I would make the top shelf shorter so you can put something taller in the bottom shelf. But you know, it may depend on what you have. Sometimes people decorate them with different things and like put furniture in the back. We did that when we did the bookstore, the Ravenscrest bookstore, and people made bakeries and stuff at Christmas. And some people put like a little dining table at the like a little French dining table with little French chairs in their bakery, so it really looked like a patisserie. And I'm not worried about all the threads. You know, it's Halloween. Little excess threads are fine, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, I like the yellow because it shows up on the shelf. The yellow and the lighter colors show up better. With my dark, I used a dark paper like a Tim Holtz paper to line it. There is going to be our cans, and tomorrow we're going to make this. And I showed you, I made this and it was so good. This was thin and the top was green, but I overbaked it. But whenever I make a mistake like that, you know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, don't do this. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. So let me go. I'm going to switch cameras again. I'm going to switch cameras, rotate this out of the way. Okay. I see Mary and Peggy Sue and Nan is here. Yeah, wide ribbon would work. That would be, oh, you could make little ribbon rolls. You could have little rolls of ribbon, like if you get a real narrow ribbon and just, oh, that would be fun. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And I hope that answered your question. If you have any questions, remember, if you have any problems or if you hear somebody like, I signed up for a ticket and I'm not getting the emails, sometimes what happens is people unsubscribe and then we're actually not allowed to send them an email until they give us specific permission to do that. So that's sometimes a problem. So if you can just help us out, all you have to do, help@paperglitterglue.com. Okay. I hope you have fun. And oh, I think my sister is here. My sister Joanne. Okay. And oh, and somebody said price tags. Oh yeah, that would be funny too. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, see, and that's what I really like is when you take something, I've kind of got the framework. It doesn't have to be like this. It could be, you know, you could make it a whole different level of spooky or not spooky at all, just Western. And then you do all your own stuff in it. I'm like, oh man, they're so creative. I just love to see that. Okay, and let's see, what are we doing next? I told you what's next. Tomorrow's project. Oh, and it's kind of cool. It's like a cauldron card, and so we're making the cauldron tomorrow. So that works out really well. Okay, I'm going to go now, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. And then, oh, and then we got some other really fun stuff. Remember, everything in the lives is like an extra. Sometimes it just gives me time to do extra details. Sometimes it's just something on my website that's kind of, a cool Halloween project that I just want to share with you because I've been doing it for so long. I think I've got like 500 blog posts and you can't find it. So I just show you something extra. So the video is available right at 9 o'clock in the pattern. The pattern's only available for 24 hours if you have the free ticket. And then I think we're leaving the videos up because you don't always have time to make it only on that day. So, okay. All right. Oh, I hate to miss you, Vanessa and Delvine, everybody. I really enjoy you guys. So I'll see you tomorrow, and you have a good day, and I hope you get to do something fun today. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye.